Good afternoon and welcome to the farm. Me and Celle. Hi, Celle.
Hello.
So this is the third week update on Celle's journey here at the farm. And she's here for 12 weeks, focusing on healing her gut. So this is the third update. So now we're going a bit deeper. So maybe you just explain in a sentence or two for new followers why you are here. What is it that you want to heal with your gut?
Okay, so yeah, I've been on an intense healing journey over the last 2.5 years, seeking solutions for my challenges with my gut. I had SIBO, gastritis, leaky gut, candida, a whole cocktail and side effects of that, and tried everything in my power. But I had daily stomach pains and cramps, and the cramps would not just go away. So yeah, that's why I'm here, to really go to the root cause of those pains, of those challenges, and really do the work to overcome that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we do here at the farm. We activate the whole body self-healing mechanisms. So I want to share a little bit about the approach that we are heading in here with Celle. She's been here for 3 weeks now. And so what we do is that we activate all the body's self-healing mechanism. We work extremely deeply with the nervous system to ground the nervous system and to make sure, because when the nervous system is activated, most of the self-healing mechanisms in the body is turned off. And one of the first things that turns off when we are experiencing stress or nervous system activation is that the digestion slows down. And if we have been experiencing a lot of stress over the years, then that affects the gut health a lot. So we also use fasting. So in this case, it's to help clear the gut, to clean the gut, to give the whole GI tract a deep sense of rest. It doesn't have to work for a long time. And to really pull the toxins out of the bowel walls and to also activate the self-healing mechanisms and the cellular regeneration in the body through the fasting. And Celle is now on week 3 on fasting, so we're going a bit deeper. We are also working on an emotional level. So the fasting and the grounding also helps to access unprocessed emotions, because in the gut is like a epicenter for unprocessed emotions. And we will touch a little bit about find that also. And we also work spiritually to navigate the ego, the mind, and belief systems. So we will touch a little bit about that practically today, because now we are starting to see that the body's self-healing mechanisms are starting to get turned on. And so what's your overall experience with week 3?
Yeah, it's been so different from the first 7 days of fasting. That was like a breeze, just enjoying. My body just loved it. And then stepping into the last week, day 7 to 14, has been very challenging. It's been tough. And definitely way out of my comfort zone. But I also know that's where the future is, right?
Yeah.
So in the beginning of the week, there was a lot of obsessive thoughts. First about food, and then it moved over to my fear of the future. Because my entire life I've been very carefully managing and optimizing my life and my future through my mind, and now trying to step away from the mind and allowing something else to create the future. And realizing how absolutely addicted I am to this planning of the future, the mind is really struggling, like putting up a fight, stop to not to do that. So it was really challenging in the beginning of the week to like not to just like go bananas up there. And it activated also fear of losing control over my mind, which is a feeling that is familiar from the past when my mind was the dictator of my life, and I felt like I had no control of my life because the mind was just throwing me into these dark loops. And so that came up. I went through it, still working on it, but not as it's not as alive in me right now. It has calmed down a little bit. And then later in the week, there was a lot of emotions coming up. I also got my period, which really activated my emotional body. Very grateful for that in retrospective. It was like a very deep purge those 2 first days. And there was a lot of emotions regarding not trusting myself because I cannot hear my inner voice. I don't know to go up, down, left or right. And all the hopelessness and fears and sadness and helplessness that came from not being able to trust myself, not being able to feel my emotion, not having that contact. And that is something that goes really deep through my entire life, because obviously I've been overriding the intelligence of my body as a survival mechanism, and now trying to really, of course, having a big intention of activating that. And in this moment where I am now, where I'm starting to get a little bit activation, but many times I cannot get to it, and I get very like, oh, and I lose hope, basically. So I went through a lot of that, and anxiety coming up in the situation as well. I had a really cool experience with the TRE, because the first day of my period I had really unusually intense pains, and the whole night, the whole morning, and then I went to my TRE session, and it was all released. It was absolutely amazing to experience that relief, because when those period cramps have you in their grip, it's like, whoa, it's like taking over, or it's overwhelming. So it was so cool to experience that release, and with that came a lot of like emotions as well.
Yeah. I mean, from the outside, we can see. So one of the main reasons that you came here was to start accessing all these unprocessed emotions. And you knew, like, you could feel intuitively, because we had working a little bit online before coming here. You felt like, okay, I need to really access these unprocessed events and emotions in my belly. And we also started working a little bit, like learning about the nervous system, and you understood that, okay, I am a bit shut off from, as you said, the body's natural intelligence, the connection with the body, the connection with the self, and the access to the unprocessed emotions, and all emotions in general. You mentioned, and as we start to ground the nervous system, as we start to break through a little bit of the blockages, we use the fasting to that, and we start to access what's inside the bowel, and you start to release parasites and and stuff like that. And we also added in the herbs for the parasites last week. So we can see that you are going deeper now and start to access access the whatever is stored, and things are starting to move, and you're really starting to come in contact and connection with what's unprocessed. And I mean, you're working beautifully with that and releasing, like almost every day there's something coming up. It might not be so fun, but it's a short term
Yeah.
challenge for a long term freedom. So
Yeah.
that's also why we want to share this, because like not sweeping that under the rug, or just being very transparent with the process of healing, and honoring what we've been through, and accessing the unprocessed. Oh, thunder.
Yeah, big time.
And what's interesting is that we can now see the connection with the mind and the activation in the body, and the mind start to control the blockage by going to the future and not being in the present. So we can now see we how the body uses the fight or flight mechanisms to override, as you said, the body's natural intelligence, and that the mind is super strong, and that it wants to be in the future, and that's how we kind of leave the body and dissociate from the body and the now, to it's a way of, it's a management thing. It's a coping mechanism, and there's nothing wrong with it, but you can still see that it's, wow, it's so strong, like it's powerful. And that's like one of the things that we do here is, like, when people come and stay with us, we can start to see what are they doing, because we can feel the nervous system, we can see what the body is doing, and after a couple of weeks it's very clear what the different mechanisms, how are we coping, and abandoning ourselves, really. So you've been starting to address that, and yeah, really, really deep diving into the self, and it's beautiful to see. And very interesting with the. So, what would you say that the connection with the TRE and the pain? What would you say? What happened?
Well, I believe it's a combination of there's the polyvagal curve, which is a grading system on how activated or deactivated the nervous system is. So through that whole session, I'm starting to deactivate my nervous system, and my whole body starts to relax. And they often, both Mark and Simba, when I'm like impatient to get going, or like not or like I can often feel like foggy or numb, they incorporate like social engagement and fun little playful activities between the warm-up exercise, and that also kind of makes me engage and laugh a little and come back to my body. And then when the tremors start, obviously it's like a huge release from the body when the body tremors like that. And my body really enjoys it. And this was the first time also that I had big waves of emotions, of tears coming up. And with that emotional release, the tension went away.
Yeah. So you could have a first-hand experience of the connection between the tension and the emotions and the pain in the belly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also notice my pain levels and frequency of my pains it's steadily decreasing.
Yeah. Overall, with the initial
overall,
pains that you came with, you would
yeah,
say?
absolutely.
Okay.
Like a lot less now.
Oh, really? Can you expand a little bit? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
In what way?
Because I noticed, so when you arrived, you woke up every night. I mean, even
Yeah.
before coming here, it's like you were always up at night, and that's one thing that I noticed, that you're sleeping better.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so I could wake up so many times during the night and been doing that for years. And when I would wake up in the first week, for example, I could barely breathe. I couldn't get my breath. They were very shallow, let's say that, and my whole diaphragm was like hard, like a stone, and my whole body was like like vibrating out of stress or nervous system activation. And now I can only, like the last 2 nights, I woke up twice between 9 and 6, and for me that's like, oh, hallelujah.
Yeah.
That's like the such a improvement. And when I wake up those 2 times, it's often used to go to toilet, because obviously I drink a lot now with the fast, and I'm not so activated, and I can breathe normally, and my body's just so much calmer.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we get to start sleeping better, then the overall, because the sleep is one of the major self-healing mechanisms that we need, and if the sleep is interrupted all the time, that it has an effect of our overall health, and if our overall health goes down, then the issues that we are experiencing, they increase. So if you can have like a consistent improvement of the sleep, that's going to make like the whole body recover more, so, and better. So that's a massive improvement. And the fact that your pain levels are going down is also a very clear result or indication that you're going into the right direction.
Yeah. It's very easy to measure the progress through the stomach pains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you feel is important to share at this point?
Let me just, I had a couple of things written down. Yeah, one thing that I really enjoyed this week is, with my body relaxing and all the work we're doing, I can breathe a lot deeper.
Yeah.
So before I wouldn't be able to breathe past my belly button. That was like, aim for the belly button. And then I was like, yes. But now I can breathe way down into my womb. And this feeling is just so delicious. Like, wow. And it also so beautifully open up like a channel for me to my womb and to my root chakra, which I know are in a very protective state. So just by me being able to breathe down there, I can just lay in my bed and just enjoy breathing with my womb. And it's like, it feels so healing. So I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, the breathing and the womb connection, I mean, separately and together, they are extremely powerful. And last week you had multiple Tsang, the abdominal massage sessions. Because what we also do is that we start to go in manually, like physical therapy, like manual therapy, to open up, because it's a tension. So what happens is that for some reason we start to store emotions and energy in the belly, and then it becomes like a storage space for everything, and digestion goes down, and it just becomes an epicenter, and there's a stagnation in there. So we start to untangle everything, and we have all the different group classes, and everything is designed to open up the body. And we work a lot with the fascia, and with the abdominal massage we go in and detoxify the emotions in the organs, but Simba also like starts to open up the whole area to start to have more circulation, and less stagnant energy. And then with the TRE, it goes in with the tremors, and that also opens up the diaphragm that is so connected, because with the breath and the diaphragm, that's what's supposed to help to move the energy in the body. And then when we are stressed, we breathe shallow, and then there's not that movement. And then step by step, everything becomes tight and stagnant, and also the muscles and the fascia and everything. So with all the different classes, we do the lymphatic massage to move the chi and to move the energy in the body, and we open up. It's like soft and gentle, but steady and surely. We open up the body so the body can start to process. And that is a result that you can feel that, because you said that pretty early on, like, I'm not breathing properly. That's what you noticed when we made the big change in the night. Instead of tossing and turning, we gave you practices, and then you realized, wow, I'm not breathing. And then you start to work on that. And now just 2 weeks later, you can breathe fully, and you start to open up. But then also the emotions are coming, and we see the patterns and the behaviors and everything. So yeah, beautiful work.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm curious about one thing that I really find interesting, and perhaps you can explain it. So what is actually happening on a physical level, and when an emotion gets stagnated in our bodies?
Well, it can come from different aspects. It's usually, so the emotions are stored in the fluids of the body. It's some people call it the water body, like the emotional body. It's in the cell, in the fluids in the cells. And when so it's like it's an ongoing process, like a downward spiral, when things start to affect us. So and where the emotions start to gather is usually we have like a weak spot, and then things start to store, and then more things are attracted to that space, and then that space becomes stagnant, and then we don't want to, the body doesn't want to approach the negative, the unprocessed emotions, because when we had the event, we didn't have the ability to process it in real time. Like when it happened, we weren't grounded enough, or didn't have the support. Maybe we were children, we didn't have the tools or the knowledge, and didn't know how to do that. So instead of experiencing, we pushed it down, and then we learned that, and then we keep pushing it down. And with the lifestyle, things just start to become less and less, like more stress, less sleep, less stagnation, more and more stagnation, and then it becomes like it's just the center of. Some people have it in the neck, some people have it in the stomach, and we all have different spaces. So lower back is also one of those. And then, yeah.
So when we're fasting, then the body like starts working on these areas.
Yeah.
And approaching those damaged or weakened cells, and and fixing them up, and with that those emotions are released out of the cell. So it's also like on a physical level, the emotions are really released from on a cellular level.
Yes. So what we do here is that we activate many of the body's self-healing mechanisms. So through the nervous system, when the nervous system starts to ground, the body will automatically start to feel more safe. And when we feel more safe, then the body says, oh, then I can process these unprocessed emotions that happened this and that time ago. And that automatically comes to the surface. And with the fasting, there's millions of cells in the body that their only job is to go and repair cells that are damaged, that are damaged. And when we get the extra energy in the body, because when we remove the food, there's so much, it costs the digestion costs the body extreme amount of energy. And when we remove that, and the body will use that extra energy to start to regenerate the cells. And when the cell is regenerated, the emotion that is, because it can't stay in a healthy cell. So when the cell is healthy, then it automatically releases the emotion. So it's happening on multiple levels, and also it's in the bowel walls, and it's also connected to candida and parasites. And as you start to release the candida and parasites, the body starts to release the negativity connected to in and around, because they kind of fester in the bowel walls, and you've seen them when they leave, so
Hard to
so
forget.
we're going at it on multiple levels, and we keep a good eye on you so we don't go too fast, and that you are still, you're in control of the process. You say like, okay, I want to do this. Yes, this feels aligned. How about this? So it's always in combination with you and how you feel and how your body reacts. So we usually call it that we follow the organism. We get everything started, and then your body will determine the speed and the depth.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing journey.
You're doing great. You're doing absolutely great. And really. And we got a question here also. Yes. It says, what about hyperthyroid, which has an effect from the gut? Does IF work? I'm not sure what IF is. Fast Google search, couldn't find it. But when it comes to hyperthyroid and the connection to the gut, so the thyroid, so I used to have low thyroid for many, many, many years, and I've been on a lot of medication, and I have healed all that by all these methods that we use. And the thing is that we want to activate all the body's self-healing mechanisms. And with the thyroid, it's in overdrive. So we need to help calm the body down. So it's the same mechanisms, but for every single person. So we only have 4 spots here at the retreat. And for every person, they get an individual program. But it's all included, the deep nervous system regulation, healing the regeneration of the cells, and stabilizing the balance in the body on a very deep level, and releasing the emotions that are connected to it. So it's about finding the root cause to the deep imbalance of the body. So yes, it does work to heal the thyroid and the connection. And most people need to clean out their gut. Most people need to clean out their stomach. So because it's so deeply connected to the immune system and the brain, it's just yes, it works, and yes, it's connected. All right. And on September 4 we will launch our online gut health program, where we will put together everything that we know about healing the gut. So it will be general information about how to activate the body's self-healing mechanisms, but then very specifically with all the different tools that we do to help the gut. And I will guide you through how you can, for instance, create your own detox protocol from home. But we will teach you like the methods, and give you a way to structure your own program, because some people might need a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. Some people feel like, okay, I want to go on a deep grape juice fast like Celle did, or they go, no, I'm not going to fast. I want to use solid foods. And you can. So it's all about time. And I will share all about that in our upcoming gut health program and much more. So September 4. So if you're interested in joining, you can just reach out to me. Or if you're interested in the retreats, you can also DM me, and we always set up a free consultation to see if we're a good match, and there's no strings attached ever. So yeah, almost time for lunch.
Yeah, week number 4.
Week number 4, here we go.
Yep.
Okay, so we will do a new follow-up next Monday.
Yep.
Good work.
Thank you.
And read all about us at livingwiththespirit.com. Lots of love, everyone. Ciao.
Ciao.